Hello, I'm Dr. Roger Elmer, Advanced Neurospinal Solutions, and the topic we're going to discuss is traction. Cervical traction. It actually gets more than just the neck, but this is one more way to warm up your tissue. We talked about the wobble chair, we talked about the warm-up exercises, we talked a little bit about the figure eight. We're going to do another video that talks about the figure eight, but particularly what we want to do is change the white tissue, causing what we call hysteresis. Hysteresis is where we stretch the white tissue down its long axis. These collagen fibers are a coiled protein. They're springy. If you lay on molds or try to mold them or adjust it, it's going to snap back. Now the common term that we learn in school is viscoelastic properties of the tissue. Those viscoelastic properties tend to allow it to change quickly. You wake up in the morning and you got a crease in your face from your pillowcase. So it has a hydraulic property, it can change its shape. But then it also has an elastic property that causes it to resume its shape. So you look in the mirror, there's the crease in your face, you go about your business, you look up and it's gone. Same thing with any kind of effect on the joints of the body, particularly, and also the joints of the spine. If you do some stretching, it'll give you a little bit of flexibility for a little while, but they're going to go back to their natural shape. We want to change those shapes. It's going to take some time, it's going to take some effort, it's going to take consistency. That is major. It's a major key. And that's why we do what we do the way we do, because of the physiology of the body, how it works, how it functions. In order to affect change in this white tissue, this is how we have to do it, and in order to do it in a way that doesn't tear it. We do not want permanent plastic deformation. When we do that, as we discussed, it becomes very susceptible to future injury. It's very weak, and it's that way for the rest of your life. If we do that, also, it becomes sloppy, like a bike with a bunch of bolts loose. That will lead to degeneration. And neurologically, it's going to desensitize the mechanoreceptors, according to Spine 1999. It's going to desensitize the mechanoreceptors, which is going to shut down the nerves that go up to the cerebellum, the afferent loop, or the sensory loop that goes up to the cerebellum, the brainstem and cerebellum, and then that will shut down the motor loop or the efferent loop back to the muscles that are tight around your spine, that actually stabilize you. That's why you always get injured. In fact, it says directly in that research paper, it says that it shuts down the protective mechanism, the reflexogenic protective mechanism that protects it. That's why you always get injured at the same place. So we want to change those tissues. So in order to do that, we have to create hysteresis so that it will become plastic or moldable when we put the molds on you, when we put the weights on you in the vertical component to allow you to create these changes. This is the traction unit. When we set up the traction, set it up so that you can do the traction, we want to set it up in the optimal position for you. And so you get your own traction unit. You're going to put it on a door in your house, but you're going to make it at the level that fits you. The optimal level for you is where this bar, as it's hanging there, comes to the top of your shoulders. This is a little too low for me. There we go. It's coming to the top of my shoulders here. That's my optimal position. And so we want to make it so that it's everybody's optimal position. That's why we have this rack here. And you thought a rack was a country. Yeah, here it is. So we're also going to make sure that you know how to modify yours at home. If it's way too long, we're going to take and tie a rope. If you don't know how to do that, get one of your local Boy Scouts. He'll tie a knot for you. He'll be happy to do that. If it's too short, we're going to have to put extenders, which is basically a piece of rope that is tied into a loop, and then we lace the loop, and we'll actually do a video on that and how to do that so that we can extend it. And we can put multiple extenders depending upon what is the need. So once we have it set up in the position that we want it for our own height, then we can go through the traction. Now this is a traction set up for under the chin. This is designed for the forehead if you have TMJ. Now I use this one, but I use it under my chin. But I'm going to teach you a way to do this to where you can do stuff under your chin even if you have TMJ usually, if you really focus and concentrate. But just the basic idea of doing the traction, we're going to get our feet close to the wall. When I'm at home, I have it hanging on my door at home. I put my toes against the wall, and when I bend my knees, my knees are going to be against the door too when I go down. So with this, it's a little out of way, but I'm still going to get close. I put this behind my neck, and then I'm going to allow it to cinch up against my skull. I'm going to take and put my palms towards me and take a hold of the handle here on both sides. And I like to bring my shoulders back this direction, and I like to pull straight down. Most people you're going to see are going to be out here, and they're trying to pull, but they're pulling outward rather than downward. And so I want control of this. When I do traction, I want 80 to 90% of that force to be in my arms and shoulders, not in my neck. Here's the principle. I do not want a harsh traction. If you feel a harsh traction, it's because you are igniting your protective mechanism. The red tissue is protecting your ligaments when that happens. We don't want that. We want it relaxed with a light stretch that you barely feel, if at all. Why? Because then we're stretching the white tissue instead of the red tissue and avoiding that protective mechanism. As you do it in a lighter fashion, you'll start to feel, as you do it, you feel your neck getting longer. It will, because we're going to start stretching those discs out rather than trying to stretch against the red tissue. When you do, you're playing tug of war. If you don't tug, there ain't no war. And we don't want tug of war. We want it to be relaxed and open, and we want those ligaments and the disc itself, which is a ligament, to elongate. And so as we do it, you're going to look up, and your rear end's going to go back as you do it. So as I go down, I'm going to chin up, and I'm pulling straight down, contracting the muscles of my shoulders, chest, and arms. That is stretching the white fibers, elongating them, changing the tissue so that it's more pliable, more changeable, more moldable. So as we do this traction, we're going to start off by doing 10 to 20, and very quickly we're going to work up to 60. And we're going to do that before we're going to do wobble chair, maybe the warm-up exercises with the wobble chair or without. We do the figure. I do the figure eights when I do mine, and I do this. Then I'm ready to mold, or I'm ready to throw my weights on, or I'm ready to do the link trainer or whatever. So that's how that works. Now, if you're going to do it with your forehead, because you're avoiding the TMJ, it's going to look more like this. Now, this is not tall enough for me, but I'm going to get a little bit lower here. But you're still going to hold it, and you're going to try to. The harder part when you do this is to go ahead and allow your chin to come back. So you have to, there's going to be some pressure on the base of your skull and on your forehead when you do it this way, okay? But because we're not trying to severely traction your neck, see, I'm already feeling the tiniest of stretch in my neck. I'm way too tall for that. But the tiniest stretch in there that isn't harsh. It doesn't feel like I'm fighting against it and that. So, but my favorite way is to go ahead and use it under the chin because I need the extra help. I've been hit in the face so many times. I lip off to my wife once in a while and I deserved it. But my neck tends to want to be forward, so I want to get relaxed. Also, I'm forward all day long, working in my office. If I'm poring over reports or research papers or books that I'm currently studying and putting together projects or whatever, I'm always forward. So I have strategies, things that I do to keep me upright. And so this traction is one of my favorite ways to cause the neck to come back into that position. It also is much more effective for me for when I mold. So if you have any questions relating to traction or anything else, please make sure you're asking the staff or asking myself. And if we get enough questions that are related, we'll do a video. We have a whole series of advanced videos relating to advanced topics, in structural correction. We have another series that we're coming out with very soon on the biomechanics of the spine, made ridiculously simple. And we also have a series on Alf Brieg, the neurosurgeon, that described the tensions on the central nervous system. And then finally, we're going to do a very large series on the extrapyramidal nervous system, which is that nervous system that thinks you don't think it. So go ahead and ask us. And we want you to enjoy these exercises, to feel what it's doing to your body, and to enjoy the process. Because particularly the most exciting thing for me as a clinician is if you totally depend upon me, you're going to totally depend upon me for the rest of your life. The vision that I have in what I do is that, yeah, it's going to take some time to fix this problem for you. But once we're done, we don't see you after that. My vision is that 20 years from now, after 20 years after I've released you, you're still doing very well, in spite of the fact that you haven't been seeing me or somebody else. You've been taking care of yourself. You've been doing your molding. You've been doing your traction. You've been doing your weights. You've been doing your isometrics. You've been doing your fulcrum exercises and any modifications of exercises that we've designed in order to support the structural challenges that you face. And you're going to keep yourself strong, healthy, and youthful and allow you to do things often that you couldn't do before. And so that's the vision. Hope you have an exciting time with your exercises. Thanks.